world's very best poker players once again descend on London as we bring you Season 3 of the $1 Million Cash Game. Aggressive, unpredictable and a great reader of his opponents, Patrick Antonius has amassed winnings of almost $3 million and will be looking to make good after that huge loss to Phil Ivey in Season 2. Eliel Ezra is a former soldier in the Israeli army and has built an impressive business portfolio. He's also already won nearly $2 million at poker and is notoriously difficult to dominate. Mike the Mouth Mattisau is certainly that. The most outspoken and volatile player at any table. He will certainly turn up the heat at this one. He had an explosive Season 1 and has a point to prove. Frenchman David Benjamin is a new face at the $1 Million Cash Game, and the former tennis pro is sure to be looking to improve on his already impressive poker record. Better known as Dur, Tom Dwan is an online poker prodigy, still relatively new to live poker. Tom will have his hands full as he sits amongst some of the toughest opposition ever assembled. Phil Hellmuth may have the best CV in poker history, but he joins the $1 Million Cash Game for the very first time. Known as the Poker Brat, sparks are sure to fly with him at the table. Phil Ivey took down a record $800,000 pot in Season 2. Regarded by many as the best player in the world, he'll be a quiet colossus at the table and is no doubt the one to beat. Former world champion Chris Jesus Ferguson is the tightest player in the field. He's fiercely analytical, and if he's in a hand, he's usually in with a strong chance of taking it down.
Hello and welcome to the heart of London for the FullTiltPoker.net $1 Million Cash Game, where some of the highest rollers in poker are battling it out against each other with absolutely no limit to the amount of their own money that they can gamble with. Let's get you straight to the action then, and your commentators as well, Gary Jones and David Tuckman.
So glad you've decided to join us for the FullTiltPoker.net $1 Million Cash Game. I'm David Tuckman, alongside professional poker player Gary Jones. 8 of the best players, including that one, 11-time bracelet winner, Phil Hellmuth. He's not having a good day, is he, Gary?
No, he's stuck about $40,000 in this cash game.
600 to call, fold.
But that's not too much to Phil. He's won over $11 million in tournament winnings.
Phil Ivey with a pretty rubbish hand there.
You settle. Hey, young man. Don't need to, be...
Fold.
Pass the figures back and forth.
Action around to Mattisau on the button.
Very quick call from David Benjamin, and also a call from Tom Dwan. 10-8 spades for David.
And I think, after that big hand that Dur won from Mattisau, I think he's anxious to play hands with him.
Well, that flop has brought something for David Benjamin, and a little bit more for Tom Dwan.
Well, everybody's got a piece of this one.
4,700.
Not much of a piece of it for Mike Mattisau, though, just bottom pair.
But Dur is in the lead. He does have the ace of clubs. Now, can he represent clubs because he has that? Is that kind of the trump ace?
Well, in these kind of games, you're not really going to get that far from bluffing someone up with just the bare ace in any kind of a pot. Just because if anyone's got a flush, they're probably going to see it through to the end, especially against someone like Mike, who's only got 40,000 in chips. Well, he's re-raising the kid.
13-2. 13,200 is the total bet.
I don't think Tom Dwan is going to go anywhere. We'll see. That gets rid of Benjamin.
Tell your accountant that I was losing 90,000 and she was saying, how much you lost total?
No love lost between these two players, huh?
No, they've clashed a fair bit. Tom Dwan's just trying to see whether it's worth his while calling this. He's got to think he's behind from a move here. There's only kind of a couple of draws that maybe he can beat.
You want to gamble against this guy, you have to be really...
Well, I don't know, with 2 clubs out there and a raise in the button. Obviously, he has to know if he calls this one, the other 25,000 that's in front of Mattisau is going to go in on the turn.
79.7 total bet.
Well, Tom's decided to re-raise him. I think Mike's got to realise he's behind, but he's only got 25,000. 1,000 left. It still doesn't go in the middle. He passes. Tom takes that pot down. He looks sick there, does Mike.
Now, Mike the Mouth has lost 3/4 of his starting $100,000 stack. And if we rewind this 2 years to the first season, he's now down $275,000.
To get started, one player is made the nominated dealer or button. Then the two players to the left post the small and big blinds. These are force bets to get the action started. The big blind is always double the small, but unlike a tournament, the blinds rarely change. However, they are sometimes increased to spice up the action. We start here with $300 and $600. There's also an ante of $100 per player, which must be paid if they want to play in a hand. Once the blinds and antes are posted, everyone is dealt 2 cards. We have a round of betting. Then 3 cards are placed face up on the table, called the flop. These are the community cards for all the players to use. Then we have another round of betting, after which the 4th card, the turn, is placed in the middle. This is followed by some more betting, and the last community card, the river. Then we finish off with a final round of betting. The best 5-card hand takes the money.
Buttons in front of David Benjamin. Small blind, Tom Dwan. Big blind is Phil Helmuth. And the action over to Chris Ferguson. Jesus, not going to play there. Patrick Antonius. What a lineup we have here.
2,200 total bet to call.
2,200 from Patrick with the Queen Jack. A couple of 6s for Ali. He's going to be happy to see the flop. And Madisau, who is short chipped at this table, is going to move all in. And that might be too much for him to get a caller.
I never played 5,000, now you just asked me for 10. 24,900.
And it's 24,900. The re-raise all in.
Wow, and Tom Dwan's got a bit of a hand. Ace Queen.
Do you really want to call off your chips with Ace Queen?
Well, it's such an all-in play here from Madisau. He's going to probably give him some sort of a protecting of a pocket pair. And if it's under queens, there's a fair bit of dead money in there for this call. Maybe. And don't forget, he's stuck himself, so...
well, he's going to gamble. He puts in the 25,000. And it pretty much is going to be a race. Ace Queen against pocket 9s. Madisau slightly ahead.
That's all.
Pretty easy laydown, though, for Ellie, isn't it?
Cool.
You'd think so, but this is Eli Elezra. Laydown's not really in his vocabulary.
Your change and your change.
So, no side pot right now, but there is a chance there will be.
Yeah.
And the pot is $78,000. Madisau all in with the 9s.
I'll take red here for him.
And it doesn't look good for Madisau, looking great for Tom Dwan. And his roller coaster day continues.
Well, in a situation like this, you know if Tom bets, he's probably actually got a genuine hand.
I was going to ask you about that. He's betting into a dry side pot. What does that mean? And
it basically means he's trying to protect some sort of a hand. He's not likely to be doing it with a dry side pot. But that makes Eli Elezra's call very, very strange. Unless he thinks he can spike a 6. That's the Jack of clubs.
well, that might be a scary card for Tom Dwan. I mean, of course, that 3 clubs out there completes the flush.
Yeah, but there's not that many hands that you can imagine Eli Elezra wanting to call pre-flop. 2
Oh, and
suited
look
clubs.
at that. Madisau makes running clubs, and he's going to take this one down.
You can tell he's just looking back to see if he's got a club in his pair.
Give me that, like, 80,000 in the middle, please.
Oh, and that's a sick runner clubs.
The best 10.